For the latest film interviews, reviews, and everything making news in pop culture, subscribe to Film Companion now.
I was known only because of comedy and the comic characters that I had done. People would come to me and say, और कैसा है? हाँ हाँ सुनाओ कुछ अरे what a busy day.
You mentioned Vikas Bahl, so I have to ask. He was obviously had some serious allegations made against him during the Me Too movement a few years ago. So, and he's obviously the creator of the show. So, were you worried when you were offered this show, and were you worried about the project and how people might react?
No, all those allegations anyway were lifted, and he came out clean. And also, I know him personally for some time. Characters now, which I associate with instantly, they don't excite me much.
Yeah.
I want to spend time with characters. I want to understand them.
Hi, Sunil. It's great to have you on Film Companion.
Thank you so much.
I have to say, I feel like it is a very exciting time for you over the last few years. You obviously shot to fame on comedy nights, but since then, you've done some really interesting dramatic work. We've seen you in films like Vishal Bhardwaj's Pataka, then we saw you in Bharat, and more recently, in streaming shows like Tandav, which I have to say, I think you were the best thing about. And now, of course, you have Sunflower, which comes out on Z5 on June 11th, which is a crime drama, which you obviously star in. So are you enjoying this kind of space that you're in right now, where you seem to be doing very different characters in very different kinds of projects?
Yeah, it is an interesting phase, and this is something called destiny, which has got me to this phase. It was never planned. I was going somewhere else, and the road turned to some other destination. But I'm enjoying this journey. It's beautiful. It's nice. I'm getting to play various characters, which I love to, and it's the only thing that I know a little bit. And I enjoy this process of working with different creative minds and playing characters which are conceived by them and so making their own. That process is beautiful.
Has it been tough getting to this point where, right now you are doing some really interesting dramatic work, but, I'm guessing there was a point where you were considered only the comedy guy. So has it been tough to get to this stage where you're getting such interesting offers?
I'm okay doing comedy, actually. I love doing comedy. And it was not in my plans to, deviate from it. Maybe something comes, I will do it, because I have done my master's in theatre where while I was doing it, I was doing all the serious characters and all the tragedies that we did.
What do you get most recognized for? When people and fans come up to you, what do they talk to you about? Is it mainly comedy nights, or is it also Tandav and Bharat? And
now gradually things are changing for me, the way they address. I think the difference between both is when I was known only because of comedy and the comic characters that I had done. People would come to me and say, और कैसा है? हाँ हाँ सुनाओ कुछ अरे what a busy day. And now maybe their body language and the expression to address you has changed, and the smile means, oh, you do a good job, and we loved you as this character, and especially this. And so the conduct has changed.
Yes.
So they don't ask me so often to crack a joke in front of them. That happens, and I enjoy that as well. But yeah, the address part has changed.
But can you tell, so when a fan is coming up to you, can you tell this is a comedy night, so this is a Tandav fan, or this is...
I can tell from the body language. Yeah.
You know exactly which project they're going to talk to you about.
Yeah. Most of the times I'm right.
So what is the difference between the different fans?
So, a fan the person who admires the work that I do, or appreciate or acknowledges. So, or has seen me in my comedy avatar and likes that part. And then they see, if sometimes, suppose there's a woman, elderly woman, so she's looking at you or a child so middle class people have a different body language.
Yeah.
Sometimes at the airport, if you go, middle class person is sitting, then their body language is they are constantly smiling at you. They're looking at you. like this. And if someone from, suppose someone has seen Tandav or maybe Bharat or Pataka, so their body language is different to address you, and they come up to you and tell you. These guys also come, then they directly want a picture with you.
Yeah.
And these guys come, they compliment, they take a while, and then ask for a picture. And you're doing a great job. You're nice, and I appreciate that. And especially, how you diversified from one genre to the other. So their address is different.
It's,
But I like both. And
it must be so nice to have both kinds.
yeah, and in this process, I'm happy that I'm able to use a little bit of, started using that the training that I had in my master's in drama when I was theater, when I was doing. And now I feel those 2 years are not wasted and I'm using it somewhere. Uh, Also, as I said earlier, to get to play various characters, getting into their mindsets, and each time you're working with a new creative guy, his thought process you are going through, you're making his thought process your own, that character which he thought of you. You're trying to convince yourself, and making it your own is a great journey.
Yeah.
I love that process.
But just speaking of drama, we have to talk about Sunflower. It's your first lead in a streaming project. It comes out, on June 11th on Z5. It's a very quirky, interesting crime drama. It's about a middle class housing society in Mumbai where there's a murder, and your character Sonu gets drawn into that investigation. What drew you to this project when you read that script? What was it about this that really drew you in?
So me and Mr. Vikas Bahl, we were trying to work with each other for some time now, and things couldn't materialize. With this, he sent me the script and he said, "Read it." I read one episode, then he sent me the other one. So, and I wanted to read more. So it took 3-4 days to send rest of the episodes, and I read those, and I really loved it. It was a great story. The way the story is being told is also very nice. The approach of storytelling in the script, and I wanted to be part of this instantly. One is the story is great. Two, the he had written it himself, so he believed in it and he knew the story very well. Um, so there were 2-3 factors that I thought I should be part of it, and the character is interesting. It has few layers to it, and it's a thriller where, when you least expect, some joke is coming, some funny moment is coming, and the way it is coming is very nice because you don't expect humor in those situations, and that was very interesting. So I just wanted to do it.
I mean, you mentioned your character Sonu. I find him so interesting. I love all the specific details. He dresses very funny. He obviously has OCD. You gave him all these very interesting little ticks. So was the character like that on paper, or were those things that you developed when you were working on him?
See, there were things which were written on paper, and it has many layers. As I said, he has many moods. So to make that into one character, and this one character does all these things. So that was a little challenging and interesting. And in that process, uh, I thought of a few things which I shared with Mr. Vikas Bahl, and we had a workshop. Then we tried different ways of doing it, and we locked on to one before we started shooting, and we were all convinced about it, what we were doing, and he was convinced the most. So I shared few approaches that we could do, and he selected one of those, and we went ahead.
It is a very interesting character. You mentioned Vikas Bahl, so I have to ask. He was obviously had some serious allegations made against him during the Me Too movement a few years ago. So, and he's obviously the creator of this show. So, were you worried when you were offered this show, and were you worried about the project and how people might react?
No, all those allegations anyway were lifted, and he came out clean. And also, I know him personally for some time, and I don't think that he would do such a thing. Uh, and I'm his fan. His work, Queen is one of my favorite films, and I love Super 30 and the other work that he's done. And we were planning to work together, and I was wanting to work with him, and I couldn't say no for any reason. Rather, I feel that's my privilege, and I'm happy, grateful that I got to work with him.
Fair enough. And apart from Sunflower and Tandav, you had one more streaming this release this year, which I have to ask you about, which is your comedy reality show LOL on Amazon Prime. It was such a bizarre, crazy, just out there kind of show where a bunch of funny people are trying to make each other laugh. Um, what was it like being on that set? Was it fun? Was it crazy? What was that like?
It was I believe, a human experiment, an emotional experiment where
That's a great description.
so I just wanted to experience that psychological level. That you get into a house, all funny people are around you, and you're not supposed to laugh. They will make you laugh. You have to make them laugh. But you're not laughing. If you're laughing, you're getting out of the house. So I wanted to experience this when it was offered to me. I said, not many times I'm going to get this opportunity to be part of such a show where at least I get to experience something else on a very personal level. Uh, uh, so this experiment I really enjoyed. So we had to be in the house for 6 hours, and it's a 1 day shoot. Of course, there was marketing shoot next day and a couple of other things. Um, but the show that we see is a 1 day product. So we had to be in a house for 6 hours, and it was fun. I enjoyed that part, and it was difficult to be part of that show. And I'm happy that I made a decision to do it.
I love that description of psychological experiment. It's a great. One thing that I find interesting about you is I get the sense that you are as comfortable in the understated dramatic space, like a Sunflower or a Tandav, as you are in the loud comedy TV space. And you seem to be someone who can easily adapt to different kinds of zones. Would you agree with that? That you're just comfortable anywhere?
No, I have to do my bit of homework to get into that, but I enjoy that process more than I want to do, more than I should do, or I want to do this. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
As in, it comes naturally to me. So for me, I think it's more difficult to do comedy because you have to cut that caricature part in reality. So, but you have to add a caricaturish version when you're doing comedy. You have this is heightened reality most of the times of your characters that you do in that comic space. So it is not easy. But yes, it's a switching is give me a bit of freshness, and I believe that audience also get to see in a different avatar and in a different kind of storytelling. So it's freshness for them also, and it keeps me going. As I said, I get a chance to do various things which I like. This is the only thing which I can do, and I want to experience it of being part of different kind of creative journeys. And I feel lucky that I get these opportunities. I am.
Yeah, I just don't know many actors who you see in that TV sort of entertainment, heightened reality comedy space, and at the same time some really exciting dramatic work. It's a very interesting range. Actors get stereotyped a lot. People love to put you in a box. So I'm just curious to know what are the kind of offers Sunil Grover gets most. How are people seeing you?
The offers which I say no to.
Yeah.
Which I get the most. Of late, I don't know, somehow I'm getting a few negative roles, or maybe I got 2-3 cops of late. I've been cop or which was not expected, which was it was never in my planning to play a cop and a serious, hard cop. So past 3-4 months, I've read about 3 scripts where they wanted to cast me as a cop, but I haven't said yes to any script yet. So
it'd be very interesting to see you in a cop character. I have to say that'd be pretty cool.
Let's see if it happens.
And is there a kind of role that you really want to do that you haven't had a chance to yet, like a kind of genre or kind of space that you really want to work in that you haven't had the chance yet?
The beauty of our profession, that as an actor, you don't know what's coming your way, and the characters which I like, which I see on screen, they have already been done. I like them for a reason, that they have done it so beautifully, perfectly, that I like them. And I can only wish, wish I could do that. But that has already been done. So it's nice that you appreciate, and I can feel like, I want to play Mughal Azam. But no one is making Mughal Azam, so it's not going to come my way. So I can just sit at home, maybe have an experiment where I try a few dialogues, but that's it. So the beauty is that don't know what's coming your way. Tandav, when it came, I didn't know that something of this sort I'll be doing. When Sunflower came, I was not prepared for it. I was thinking something else only. That now I keep playing a game in my head. Okay, this kind of role will come, that kind of role will come, but it never comes. It comes something else, then you have to convince yourself. Um, you have to get into that and make it your own. And I have not reached a level where people write for me. They write their scripts and they want to cast me. So, and I don't want also that they write for me. I think that is
Why?
I think if it is their own creative expression, when the story, the good writers, what they want to tell is better, and the characters that they think of, it gives me a little bit of challenge. And as I said, I enjoy that process of making those characters my own. Uh, so it's beautiful. Some characters take longer because you haven't experienced as them life. You've not seen life in that particular light, but yeah. So, but sometimes you can associate with few characters. Characters now which I associate with instantly, uh, they uh, they don't excite me much.
Yeah.
I want to spend time with characters. I want to understand them because on a personal level, I know it's a piece of art or film, the web shows, everything is for the audience, but you find your own happiness also sometimes in it. And my happiness is I work on it, I prepare for it, and that's something um, which is exciting for me.
So is it fair to say that you want to play the kinds of characters where they scare you, like you have no idea how you'd be able to do that? It's like a challenge.
Yeah, I love like that. And
Sorry.
yeah, I like that. I mean, and you should have time for it, a little time to prepare. But again, you can't plan, you can only wish.
Well, it was wonderful talking to you. Like I said, I really think it is such an exciting time for you. You know, you've done some really memorable performances over the last few years, and we really look forward to a lot more. Sunflower comes out on ZEE5 on June 11th. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Suchin. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you like this video or don't like this video, please subscribe to Film Companion.